when you hear the term governing in sports or in sport, what specific thoughts come to your mind?
Well, for me, in my space, I think of someone is in charge of eligibility of a student, and we call them students per se, as opposed to student athletes, because that term has always been associated to collegiate. For us, they're just students, and the students who, and we talk about students. I often joke with my NCAA friends is that they have 400 people for the number of students and institutions they have, but we have 40 people and we have 12 million young people and almost 20,000 high schools. So I often tease them that it's an overkill on their side. We need some of their people on our side to make it more fair and more balanced. But when I think of sport governance, someone has to deal with eligibility, transfers. In addition, they have to deal with officials and making sure they're trained and that they're behaving. And if there are any problems that come up with officials, someone has to deal with it. And just the overall needs of what schools have. When we talk about National Federation of State High School Associations, that's exactly what we are. We are a federation. So unlike NCAA, where they govern, it's a top down, where they make decisions that affect individual institutions. We don't do that. And that is not our governance position. As a federation, our 50 state associations and the District of Columbia voluntarily agreed to be part of the federation. They voluntarily agree to use our rules, which are based upon the age level and skill level of high school students. They don't have to. Matter of fact, the state association in Texas does not use federation football rules for their high schools in Texas. They use the college rules because they feel their kids are so superior and so well skilled in high school football in Texas. They feel they want to get them ready and prepared for the next level, and they use their rule book. And that's okay. They can do that without penalty. They're still part of the family. You'll hear me say family a lot because it is a family. It's 51 plus us. It's family. And even though they might not use our rules in football, they use our rules in other sports. And then they have the opportunity to serve on our rules committee to create rules for those particular sports. So long answer to a short question, but that's kind of how I see governance, and that's how a federation works.
Wow, that is very good information there, and really in regards to what makes your federation, plus Washington, D.C., and then also too, where you said that particular sports can use a collegiate model for their rules.
Yes.
Make it into as well in regards to how the rules are made up and who kind of helps with those committees to make those rules up for officials. Okay, now let's talk about the NFHS, okay, as relates to the office. Okay, you're located in Indianapolis, but how is your office managed?
Well, we have a leadership team, and it's top down. We have a leadership team that consists of our Executive Director, Dr. Carissa Niehoff, our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Davis Whitfield, our Chief Talent Officer, Mrs. Matrice Merriweather, and our Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Joanne Bennett. And those men and women create our leadership team. And so Carissa will create policy or ideas and share that to Davis. And Davis is the one who is responsible for the rules editors. I'm part of a 8-person rules editor. There are only 8 of us in the whole United States that deal with rules in terms of interpretations and those type of things and editing of the books. So my direct report is to Mr. Whitfield, but he's getting his marching orders from Dr. Niehoff.